How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is Lost Heroes of the Golden Age, and...
You've changed the filming location.
I'm trying something a little different for 2024, kind of giving it a more open feel, and see if I like this filming location versus what I've been doing.
What was the problem with the couch?
Nothing is wrong with the couch. I've been filming from there since before 2024, but since before Lost Heroes. But I want to try something new, and if I like this, I got a lot more space to put superhero stuff up at. Anyways,
I don't think I like this.
Give it time to get used to it. Anyways. We are going to be covering an interesting character coming out of Hillman Comics. He is a patriotic superhero, kind of. I mean, his costume is, in my opinion, god-awful. But he wears the colors of red, white, and blue. But he does fight the Axis powers, but he doesn't fight in the U.S. at all. In fact, the U.S. isn't even mentioned. I think he's fighting in Germany? I mean, in 3 of the 4 issues, he's defending the town of Dorma. And in the 4th issue, he goes to a city that sounds like a German city. I mean, it's not by any means revolutionary, but it is something that I found, and I thought it would be interesting to cover this guy. I don't think I've done a whole lot out of Hillman. They have a few characters that I could definitely see myself covering in the future, but we are doing the Conqueror. This is silly and interesting enough. I think he might appear in the Project Superpowers. There is a page about him that explains powers and abilities that he does not have in these 4 issues. So I think there might be in one of the Project Superpowers spinoffs. I don't remember him in Project Superpowers. But we'll go ahead and cover the Conqueror, and then it's won by Bill Everett, and I love the stuff that Bill Everett has done. And we'll cover more of his works this year. So let's go ahead and cover this hero, and you can leave a comment in the comment section of what do you think of the more open filming format and what you think of this hero. Let's get into this. The Conqueror, the real name unrevealed, first appeared in Victory Comics number 1, 1941. The original publisher was Hillman, and he is created by Bill Everett. Now, I only found Bill Everett's name on the 1st issue. I didn't find the name on the 2nd issue. The 3rd and 4th, it said Anderson. Now, I did find an origin for the Conqueror, where his name was Daniel Lyons, and that he was a fighter pilot that was given superpowers. Now, none of this is in his Golden Age appearances. Now, there is a link page for Project Superpowers. I don't remember him on Project Superpowers, so there might have been a spin-off, one of the spin-off issues, there's many spin-offs, where they give him an origin of that. But the origin isn't in the first 4 pages, and I don't remember him in any of the other comics. I'd have to look. So we're just going to go with what is in his first 4 appearances. He appeared in Victory Comics 1 through 4. Those were the only ones that they did. In the first 3 issues, he stayed around one town, and Dorma, I believe it was called, Domora. And in the first 3 issues, Hitler seemed pretty content, or pretty big on getting the town of Dorma. Now, in the last issue, he would actually go to another city and help them out with getting supplies. It was interesting. In the second and third issue, they started saying V for victory everywhere, which is kind of funny because we just recently did Captain V. And let's see, was it Luxembourg he was going to help out? No, Luxenstein. Now, this is actually funny. In the fourth issue, we see him in a plane, train, and automobile. I am not making that up. In that one issue, he drives a plane, flies a plane, steers a train, and drives in an automobile. I know, it would be funnier if it wasn't the 40s. His costume is god-awful. I do not like this costume at all. An overabundance of white with patches of blue and red on it. His cape is red on the outside, but blue on the inside of the cape. He's got a yellow for a V on his helmet and a yellow for the belt. But this is a god-awful outfit. I mean, you're looking at the pictures. This is gaudy as hell. I know he's trying to represent red, white, and blue, but it could have been done so much better. Captain America is looking at this costume and saying it's over the top. That's how bad this thing is. And Captain America wears the flag. Anyways, I'm not a fan of this outfit at all. And it's weird. In a couple of his issues, he is seen by the Nazis in the costume, and you'll see it in the first issue, and they don't seem to acknowledge the fact that he's in the costume. Now, he meets what was supposed to be a beautiful Nazi spy in the first issue, and has connections with her in the second issue, and then she's gone. And in the fourth issue, which is the last one, it says that he will continue to thwart Hitler's plans, which there were 4 issues. I don't know if they meant to go on for more. But there's not much more I can say about this. Shows no sign of superpowers. Actually, they say in the last issue that he showed a remarkable recuperating abilities, but that was about it. And it was just briefly mentioned. So maybe he had a bit of a healing factor. He was knocked out a couple of times, but that seemed to be, a thing for the 40s. A good guy got knocked out, just so we can fast forward to time to the point where he comes to, so we don't have to fill in the space. He had a gun that he used a little bit, and a knife that he seemed to be able to throw with expert precision. And that's all there really is. There's not too much about this. I mean, he's slightly interesting. I just don't see how everybody is looking at his costume and not noticing who he is. This costume doesn't blend in. I guess he's got little yellow lapels up on the shoulders, too. This is just not a good costume. Okay, well, let's go ahead and cover the first issue, and you might be able to get a better idea of what they were doing, if only just. Also, the Conqueror was the feature cover for all 4 issues and the feature story as well. Now, I do like the idea of this front page here, the Conqueror, all the explosions in the backgrounds. And then we have a brief timeline of newspapers. Czechoslovakia occupied, November 1938, Poland falls, France sues Hitler for peace. That's... Hold on, I gotta check to see if that actually did happen. Okay, I did actually find some articles. Hitler was sued for peace back in World War II. Okay, Normandy invades Denmark. Denmark should not be hyphenated. Denmark is one word. Normandy and Denmark invaded, 1940. German troops march into Holland and Belgium, 1940. Hitler invades Yugoslavia. Why are you hyphenating invades in Yugoslavia? Greece, April 1941. I mean, it is nice seeing a little bit of a timeline. Right here in the bottom, you see Bill Everett. So he did help to create at least this first one. And this is where we spend all this time in Dorma. Why is there a medical cross on the top front of this tank? Okay, as Hitler rests in the safety of his mountain retreats at Birkenstad, his mechanized hordes sweep ruthlessly over the small defenseless nations of Europe. Now posed on the border of the Republic of Dorma, they await the order to continue on. Will Dorma capitulate, or will she be crushed to extinction? Who is there to stop the madmen of Europe? Now, as much as I appreciate them using the word capitulate, which basically means to give up and go along with, they use this word way too much. In at least the first two issues, I've seen the word capitulate to the point where it kind of felt a little less. I mean, look right down here in the same page, it even uses the word capitulate again. Okay, meanwhile, in a Dormanian cellar, is everything in Rennia? Okay, we see these three people planning to go after Runavik. He's the premier of Dorma. And as they're talking, tomorrow Dorma will capitulate. Stop saying that. To our peace-loving Führer's demands. Hail Hitler! Hail Hitler! Suddenly, hail murderer! What? Who? Do you know me now? The Conqueror! Now, I have an issue with this. How did he know where they were meeting? This is three people in a cellar. How did he happen to know where these three people were meeting at? Secondly, he seems to have been there. How long was he sitting in the corner with nobody noticing him? And the outfit is just horrible. Okay. The cellar gets remarkably roomy all of a sudden. He starts to fight the other two men, the one in the blue and the one in the green suit. He knocks out the guy in blue, and then we see a knife coming towards him, and he dodges it while throwing his own and getting the guy, I guess, in the shoulder. And he's getting ready to get shot by the guy in blue, and the blonde lady yells, "Look out! Let's see you dodge this!" And then she jumps into the way of the bullet. "Wait, you dirty!" and has his mighty fist thunders home. Crack. "You're lucky it's only a scratch. Just a flesh wound? Why did you do it?" "Suppose I said a whim. A few minutes later, I wouldn't believe you." Okay, this is funny. She makes her statement, and it takes a few minutes before he says, "I wouldn't believe you." Were you quiet the entire time while wrapping up these guys? And was she just sitting there waiting for you to respond? I can't imagine. "I did it on a whim." Tie. Not saying anything. Tie this guy up. Not saying anything. "I wouldn't believe you." Wow. I mean, you shouldn't wait a few minutes to make a retort. It just comes out of nowhere. So he talks about how he needs to stop the assassination attempt, and she says that's impossible. He's actually protected. He wants to get there because he doesn't believe her, even though she says that Romanovic is not going to be assassinated. You see, well, I'm a British agent. So she claims to be a British agent, and then she's telling the Conqueror a shortcut, and they have to go through Nazi-controlled territory before that. Now, this next page really kind of throws me off. She talks to him and says, "I want to see the General Elite. Please hail Hitler." "Very good. Proceed. Hail Hitler." The Conqueror is in the driver's seat When she saw him in the cellar, she recognized who he is. So the Conqueror is not gone unrecognized. So how do these guards at the gate see the Conqueror in the driving seat and say, oh, by all means, they can go through? I mean, he's only the Conqueror, the guy standing in the way of Hitler's plans, but yes, go through, go through. So she takes them to the general. Sig Heil, General Elite, let me present the Conqueror. The Conqueror! Hail Hitler! Why would you say Hail Hitler for that? Okay, anyways. The guards come to apprehend the Conqueror, and then she exclaims, quiet, you American dog, you are talking to the daughter of the Reich. Yeah, it's the 40s, I'll let it go. Well, I must congratulate you, but General, may I have a cigarette? He's like, yeah, sure. And he quickly subdues the general and holds him. Now, I see to be in command. I'll advise you, General Elite, to warn these Nazis not to shoot. They won't. What do you want? Unseen by the Conqueror, Warla's hand moves beneath her cloak. What does it matter now? I mean, I'm not quite sure if she's working with him or not. He makes quick work of all of the people here. One, it looks like he shot him in the back, and then he was playing possum, and he knocks the sergeant and the other guards out. All right, Miss British agent, get a uniform off of one of these stoolies, one that will fit me. We're going to save Remdivik with your help. Why does she have to remove the clothing? You're a perfectly capable person that you can do it yourself. So he puts on the Nazi uniform and they start to drive. And as they get to they find the main bridge was out. That's why they had to go see the general. I skipped over that part because I wanted to get to what I was talking about. So they go to this pontoon bridge that the Germans had put up because the main bridge was out. Now, after she goes and talks to them, the pontoon bridge explodes. Fine fashion. And as you see him here, the Nazi outfit is starting to tear a little bit, and his costume is showing through. And was this I think this had to be at night because they're using a spotlight and they see her. Now, she is really a daughter of the Reich. Well, it says, yeah, they are shooting. They've got me, but I'll fix them. So if she's really a Nazi spy, a daughter of the Reich, why would they be shooting at her too? I think she was the one who warned them that he was there. Okay, so when he shoots his gun to put out the spotlight, we see that he's still wearing the Nazi uniform. The very next second, he picks her up so he can save her from the gunfire. He is no longer wearing a stitch of Nazi uniform. Was it a tearaway uniform? Boom, I put out the light, ripped the clothing off. Now I'm the Conqueror again. If I can get over the hill, we'll be safe, but it looks like the end for Remdivik. Now, at first I thought he was jumping, but I don't think he is because he can't fly. So it looks like he just picked her up and ran with her right before a bullet hit the area that she was in. You see, he's not wearing the Nazi uniform anymore. How did he take it off so quickly? Okay. What do you mean? How can we get to Gorda in time to stop the assassination? She tells them about an airport that's nearby and that he needs to knock out the sentry. Let's see, you'll have to take care of the sentry and the pilot. Don't worry about that. So he knocks out the sentry and he takes the plane himself. So I guess she decided to go along with him. So he flies the plane over to the area where they need to be at, but there's no landing strip. So he says, because the only way I can get down there is by jumping. Here, take over. As she jumps out, she does actually give him information. Okay, but you'll need to find the assassin in the crowd that will be... Okay, but you'll need to find the assassin in the crowd that will be listening? No, that's a statement. That's not a question. Look for a man in a checkered suit, dark glasses, with his arm in a sling. Good luck, boy. It's awfully specific. Thanks, I'll find him. Okay. He gets into the area of town where it seems to be deserted, but that's because everybody in the town is going to listen to his speech. So he gets to, let's see, a few minutes at the door of the Gordata Opera House. I cannot pronounce these names. Wait, you can't go in there. The premier is about to speak. He'll never speak if I don't one side. Okay. So he is being welcomed on stage, and he jumps up there. No, stop. Stay where you are, Mr. Premier. What is wrong? Why should I not speak? Because there's an assassin in the audience, and there he is! So he jumps the assassin and knocks him out, and then I'll go ahead and read the last 2 pages, because this is where a lot of exposition is. The Conqueror explains the plot to Rundevik. It's obvious that these British credentials are forgeries. This is typical of the Nazi method of doing business. If Hitler wants Dorma, he'll have to take her over the dead body of our loyal citizens. Bravo, Mr. Premier, and you can count on me for support. But what has happened to Varna? Is she or is she not a Nazi agent? These questions will be answered when the Conqueror roars into action again next month in Victory Comics. And yes, she's a Nazi spy, but she's a German spy. May not necessarily be a Nazi spy. We find that out in the next issue. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this hero, but not too much. I mean, like I said, he is ridiculous. But like I said, we'll definitely cover more of Bill Everett's work this year. I think he's done a lot of great heroes. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.